Well, I really am rather regretting wearing a white shirt today because I do have to say this is among the dirtier clocks I've seen because I assume it hasn't worked for a long time. Is that right?
It's about 17 years. It's not worked since my father died.
Well, my advice to you is don't try and get it working now. It'll need a bit of cleaning before that. Well, let's turn it round then. It's a nice 8-day movement. Put it back in the case and we'll start with the dial because not only is the movement dirty, so is the dial. But there's a reason for that. The brass dial plate will naturally get dirty over time. But sometimes the silvered, this is a process by which you silver these dials, the silvered dial, someone's tried to clean it. In cleaning it, what they've done is worn away the silver and think, oh dear, what do I do about it now? Best to leave it. And the result is now you've got half of it silvered and the rest of it all rather patchy and brassy. However, having said that, look at the rest of it. This is really a beautifully maintained case. Do you polish it?
Yes.
You've done very, very well indeed. That looks really super. It's a really wonderful case, lovely oak case. One word of advice though, I noticed on the inside here earlier, when you come to wind it, there's the key, but take that string off and throw it away or burn it. The most damage is always done to a clock is when you put this in there and wind it and the string wraps itself around one of the hands and you turn it around again and you snap the hands off. Now, it hasn't happened with these. These hands are entirely original. So my advice is get rid of that string very quickly indeed. Right, now we come to the hood of the case, which I'll put back on and see it complete. Now, there's another thing about this that puzzled me. And that is the frieze at the top there. Now, this is very common because this is a clock made by David Collier of Gatley, which is, I believe, just south of Manchester. And this is the style of clock, the style of case you would find in Lancashire and Cheshire. Right in the middle, though, you have a little cockerel and the date, very helpfully there, 1766, so we know when it was made there. Have you any idea why a cockerel was there?
There's something to do with waking you up, cockerel.
Waking up? Well, possibly, very possibly. Do you see this bit in the centre there?
Yes.
That moves round. Have you ever wondered what that was?
It's not an alarm, is it?
It's an alarm. It's an alarm clock. That's the way you set the alarm. You
well,
move.
I never knew that.
Well, there you go. You see, if you wanted to go off at 4 o'clock, there's the 4. You move the 4 to under the tail of the hour hand, and it would strike at 4 o'clock. Well, the next question is it actually worth restoring? The answer certainly is. How much is it going to cost? You will certainly get no change whatever out of £500. You might not even get any change out of £1,000 in restoring it, but well worth it. And if this clock was to be seen in a good antique shop somewhere, certainly it's going to be in excess of £6,000, £7,000 for a clock like this.
Right.
It really is a stunning piece.